I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely cannot understand how people can be this gullible, how people can be this stupid. I really can't because to me, this is a disgrace. This is disgusting, and I can't say anything besides it. So apparently yesterday, at the Army Navy game, there was an incident where people were not able to discern whether or not cadets were playing the circle game, flashing the OK sign, or they were flashing the white power symbol, which I will go after that stupid theory in about hmm, 2 3 minutes when I'm done with my rant. So I pulled up two articles from the New York Times and HuffPo, both of which are terrible, and there's a reason why. I'm going to go into each of them and why they're absolutely stupid. So first of all, we have HuffPo. HuffPo's article is literally just bashing every single cadet there, and then someone decides to bash the military, which, as an Army fan, even though I wasn't happy about the results of yesterday's game, I'm still going to defend the midshipmen. Like, I don't care. They didn't do that. Even I just watched the clip, which is right here, and it's pretty obvious they were just joking around. They weren't doing it because they wanted to freaking say that they support white supremacy. So let's get to it. The article's headline: Military investigating after cadets flashed apparent white power signs before. Notice white power apparent, not proven. They cannot prove because there's literally no proof. They're assuming guilt before, they're actually proven guilty. Signs before Army Navy game. Officials are probing the intent of the individuals after some people defended the cadets as playing the circle game, which they most likely were. Now, I want you to pay attention. First of all, you have this cadet who looks like he's got a little bit of a funny face going on. And this is the kid, I think, who is the one who ends up flashing it. So, this is the video. We're going to go on ahead.
Think back to the time when Naval Academy
Let's see.
graduate John McCain was a prisoner of war for 5.5 years
Yeah,
in North
he's
Vietnam.
basically being a joke about it.
New prisoners to give him updates on world events.
I mean, they're all enjoying it. And there's some West Point cadets over here as well. This is the midshipmen. I'm pretty certain those are the West Point cadets. West Point cadet is freaking opening his Coke.
This meaningfulness and the significance extends well beyond just when the two teams play.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that they're playing the circle game. You can even tell they're having fun with it. They're not really trying to go on ahead and be jerks about it. They're just being funny. So, let's read. Military officials have launched an investigation after the OK hand symbol that has become known as a symbol for white power. No, it hasn't. That's idiotic. Was flashed amid a crowd of cadets before the Army-Navy game in Philadelphia Saturday. The gestures were captured on national TV during a pre-game broadcast in a game in a crowd that included black cadet. What does that have anything to do with it? Okay, whatever. They appeared to be flashed by both West Point cadets and Annapolis midshipmen. The video doesn't show that. You've got a West Point cadet here drinking a freaking Coke. Whatever. We're looking into it. West Point Representative Lieutenant Colonel Chris Alpart. I think I think I said his last name right. I apologize if I didn't. The Wall Street Journal. I don't know what their intention is. Annapolis spokeswoman Commander Alana Garas also told the newspaper, "We are aware of it and will be looking into it." The signs were flashed during a spot by ESPN's Reke Davis before the game. Reese or Reke or Reche? I don't know. Can't say it. ESPN's Davis, we're going to say. At one point, one of the cadets stands around Davis stood, laughing, and showed a banner reading, "Go Army, beat Navy." Then someone standing behind him whose face was out of shot and wearing black gov made the hand sign. At least two other signs were then also flashed, with one next to Davis' head. Let's see. This is another one. I didn't actually see this one. It might give a little bit of a different story.
Prisoner, who won the Army-Navy game last year? This meaningfulness and the significance extends well beyond just when the two teams play each other. I mean, you ask anybody that's ever had to deal with a cadet to the midshipman on the football
There's that
field,
one.
they'll tell you, up 4 or down 40, they play their guts out every single play until the clock strikes 0. Notre Dame, Michigan, Oklahoma, believe me, they all know if you're going to beat Army,
Oh, well, who cares? Yeah, see, no. It's pretty obvious they're just joking. They're just trying to have some fun. So, The story quickly blew up on social media because people are freaking idiots. The Anti-Defamation League, which should not be taken seriously, this year added the symbol to its list of hate signs, which we don't care for because the Anti-Defamation League has gotten that wrong. The symbol began as a trolling hoax, and it still is a trolling hoax. Please stop. Like, if you actually do that, you're just literally giving power to the white supremacists. By members of the website 4chan, saying the hand gesture formed a WNP for white power. Yet it never meant this at all before that. Seriously, it really didn't. It never did. You didn't see anyone use it for white power. And honestly, here's the simple way to put it. This is what the new version of left wing culture has done. It has made us overtly sensitive, and in my opinion, I think that we have gone too far with it. And I'll get that especially when we talk to the Times article and then eventually go on to Reddit. So, but the gesture is now being used in some circles as a sincere expression of white supremacy. And the Anti-Defamation League obviously has no evidence before this, so they don't even take them seriously for that. The hand sign, however, is also used in the circle game. It's also used as an OK sign. You can use the OK sign, and it would pretty much mean the exact same thing, but the other way around. There's no difference. There literally is no difference. In the game, players make yeah, we already know the whole thing about the circle game. Last year, Coast Guard officer was reprimanded for reasons that I think are bullcrap, but there might have been other reasons behind that. So while standing in the background of a television broadcast, the cadets should be well aware of what they're doing, what a disgusting act, and what they decided to throw up their white power sign. Yeah, Dakota, go shove it up your ass. Sorry to say, but you're being a fucking idiot. These cadets literally dedicated their life to the country, and you want to think that they believe that? Go fuck yourself. Sorry about that. I can't stand when people do that. Trump's America. Hashtag Army Navy game. A bunch of cadets throwing up the white power symbol on national television. Hopefully, they will face disciplinary action. Disgusted. Again, it's gonna be the same video. It's just they're just joking around. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Jesus, I don't even know. I don't even know. I really I can't. I physically cannot. The thing is, the circle game is meant for you to look at it. And the problem is, in these uniforms, it's not always the easiest to actually see where people's hips are, so you can't really tell. So, whatever. Next person does a defense saying circle game. If it's not the circle game, I'll tweet Marvel is greater than DC, burn my Grizzlies hat, and change my Twitter picture to Jar Jar Binks. That's how confident I am that it's not a white power symbol. Well, he must be he or she. I can't tell. I think that's a he. Um, must be a DC fan. Um, definitely probably does not like Jar Jar Binks. But yeah, no, it's definitely not white power symbol. And then you got other people. And this one really ticked me off. Anyone who thinks that's not the circle game has never known anyone in the military. Can I just say no. No. Are you that dumb? Are you that dumb? Do you seriously think the military is full of white supremacists? That is the most disgusting assertion I've ever heard of. It is the most disgusting. It is the most disingenuous. It is the largest lie. I genuinely cannot understand how you can assume people sign up, people go to these academies, and you think they genuinely believe in those ideas when most of them probably don't? What the actual fuck? This is how bad. This is how bad it is now, guys. This is actually how bad it is. We've gotten to the point where people don't even think their own military cares about them, and they don't care about the things that our Constitution prescribes. It's that bad. It actually amazes me that most of these people were watching the Army Navy game. I doubt they were actually watching the game, and the only reason why is because one person got ticked off and said something like, "Oh my God, white power!" That's literally my bet. So, and then we have fucking John Palvowitz. I have a hand gesture for cadets who flash the white power symbol sign today, if they'd like it. And I have a fist for you if you'd like to go on ahead and keep lying about these cadets and assume that they are racist. So, like I said, HuffPo did a terrible job of covering this. Like, it literally, the entire article is designed to insinuate that these kids are white supremacists. You have one defense, and one, two, three, four. That is an 80% bias ratio. That is 80% directing towards that these cadets are racist. And then you have this guy making the false claim that this is because of Trump. Seriously? No. Oh, I'm not doing that. No. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it with these people who are absolute idiots thinking that they know everything about this. They really don't. Then we have the New York Times. So the New York Times, they're just a little less biased, and I think they actually covered it a bit better, and that's partially because the New York Times is a bigger organization, so they can't really afford to fuck it up. But so the next one, military investigating suspected white power hands gestures. Suspected. That still they're gonna insinuate it. Hand gestures flashed at game. The Army and Naval Academy. Just say West Point and Annapolis said they are looking into whether or not the symbols by cadets and midshipmen at a football game on Saturday were related to hate groups, which they weren't, but whatever. The United States military officials said that they are investigating whether Army cadets and naval midshipmen had flashed hand symbols associated with hate groups at their football game on Saturday. A broadcast showed cadets from the United States Military Academy and midshipmen from the Naval Academy in the stands displaying the sign at least 5 times behind ESPN broadcaster Davis at the game, because I don't know how to say his first name, which was held at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on Saturday. President Trump attended the game and met with players in both locker rooms before the game. West Point is looking into this matter. We already looked at that. And the Naval Academy pretty much said the exact same thing. The gesture, which looks like an OK sign, is formed, but it's the same. No, it doesn't look like it. It's the same. Is formed by the thumb and forefinger joined together in a circle, and remaining 3 fingers splayed out behind, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, who, once again, where are they? Hold on, where is it? Just like the ADL, you don't take them seriously because they themselves also lie about symbols, also lie about facts. They don't care. They just want to push their stupid fucking agenda that is not factually true. Okay, next. The Center, a non-profit group. Oh, wait, yeah, hold on. Monitors hate groups, although it actually doesn't. It deems people wrongly as hate groups. Noted last year that white nationalists, neo-Nazis, and Klansmen have increasingly begun using the use of the symbol both to signal their presence to the like-minded as well as to identify potentially sympathetic recruits among young trolling artists flashing it. They don't have any evidence. They don't. They don't. They seriously don't. What annoys me is the New York Times doesn't even link us to the article where the Southern Poverty Law Center says this. They don't say who says it. They also don't say where it was said. They just say it was said. You have to say who's saying it, where it's being said, and what evidence there is to back this up. I'm not saying that they aren't doing that. I'm saying make your argument and put some evidence behind it. And then, of course, they go to the ADL as well, who I tell you is not credible. You don't use them either. Also describe, you can, they're not entirely uncredible, but they're not trustworthy, is the simplest way to put it. Forms white power, WP for white power. You also want to know what stands for WP? West Point. You fucking idiots. That's not to say that that's what it meant, but obviously it's like you're going over the top and you're over analyzing this, and that's what I don't like about this. Washington Post did an article on this. The Wall Street Journal did an article on this. Fuck, you've got Europe doing articles on this. That's how much and how ridiculous they are and willing to go about this crap. It's so dumb, especially when you have politicians doing the exact same thing, making the exact same symbol, just upwards. even though there is literally no difference besides the way that it's the other way around. If you're saying that it's white power in one way but not the other, that doesn't make any sense because if anything, the other way would be more like that. You don't get a WP when you do it this way. In fact, you get a PM. You don't get a WP. The other way around, you get a WD. So no, this is like the dumbest thing. They fell for the trap. They literally gave the white supremacists and the white nationalists and the freaking KKK, they gave them power over society. It's so dumb. Please someone tell me I didn't see what I thought I just saw. One user wrote on Twitter asking, white power sign? Uh, I will tell you, you're wrong. They're well aware of what they're doing and they think it's funny. Disgusting! Another Twitter user wrote. You know what? Let's actually go check this out. Just because I want to check this out. But we'll finish reading this. On Twitter, Mr. Trump congratulated. Oh, this is basically. Yeah, you know what? It's whatever. Removed a racist slogan. We'll care about that another time. But it's whatever. Oh, yeah. So it's this person. It's literally coming from Fella. It seems as though that this is the person who, as a result, is the reason behind why. See, people are literally just joking. I'm gonna doubt that, but whatever. Yet cadet must be reported. Two cadets in the particular frame behaving dishonorably, but will their CIC pardon their offenses? Oh my god. Officers in training and their conduct is be unbecoming regardless of the minimizing excuses if they're just trolling the libs or it's only the middle school game of major look. They know it's offensive even if they eventually claim. How do you know they know that? You don't! You are not them. Don't assume something that they might not know. They're cadets. They're on base. For all you know, I'm actually pretty certain that it's the classes of 2024. When this outrage started, they might never have even seen it. Most cadets are cut off from the real world for a very long time. You do realize that, right? Oh god, the alt-right is adopting clown memes now? Haha, you fell for it. Fell for what? We say something random is racist, make gas chamber jokes with it, and you cry, oh, it's racist now. Just like Pepe, drinking milk, and the okay... Wait a minute, hold on, hold on. What? Drinking milk? What? And the okay gesture, we do them ironically and you get triggered. Then Nazis and mass shooters do them for real, and then we do them more to intentionally obscure their new meaning, so it ends up being racist. Do you have any idea how ridiculous you look? I don't really. What? The meme at least appears to me as though it's just ridiculous. It does seem ridiculous to me, but whatever. Probably. I would expel the kid as fast as you can say fire. Can I ask, what if this turned out to be a kid who, well, what if it turned out that he was gonna save the United States? Whatever. Don't sentence the kids before collecting evidence. Thank you, Matt. The downturned hand below the belt is more consistent with the circle game and not alleged palm out. Upturned okay that makes a W and P. No, it doesn't actually, but whatever. I'm not sure it means the same to them as it does to you. When I was a kid, this was a major look game, and then you got to punch a friend if he looked. Yeah, I mean that's. I'm pretty certain that's what it is. Punch the entire. They did it. Whatever. We did the same, but you had to show it below the neck. This was a meme for the longest time. The point was always to unexpectedly make someone see it and then laugh about it. It had no idea because it's not that. So whatever. See, this is the Twitter fuckfest all because of like just people becoming idiotic and just thinking that they're right. So now we're gonna move on to Reddit, who, by the way, Reddit is a literal messed up piece of crap when it comes to left-wing politics. It is bad. It is so terrible. I really don't like looking at Reddit, but Tim Pool was the reason that it set me off. So now I need to go into this. Let's start. It's sometimes hard to distinguish. No, it's not. It's really not. Circle game is really, it's always below the waist. Okay is pretty much, it's like okay or okay. It's simple. And the thing is, the white power hand gesture, it goes back to that meme that I just showed you earlier of it's them just tricking us. And if you give them the power, they're gonna take it. So there's a simple way to actually fight back against white supremacists that I do want to quickly address. How do you do it? You're nonviolent. You practice the teachings of Martin Luther King and nonviolence. And what you choose to do is you choose to tell them to come out in the open, debate them publicly. I actually am personally okay with doing this. Not because I am dying for attention, so to speak, but because I personally hate the ideology of white supremacy and it's absolutely stupid and abhorrent. Let's be honest, every single human is 99.9% genetically the same, and that 0.1% is all that makes us different. Realistically, every single one of us is 99.9% the same genetically. At least I think that's correct. I might have to check that the number might be changed or something like that. But we'll get back to that another time. But it's comments like this that is just dumb. It's dumb. Whatever. And then this one, yeah, that's why they choose those gestures because they are so common and already have established meaning. So when you see, they can go, no, that's not why they choose it. They choose it just so they can trigger you guys. It literally, that's what the meme is. It's talking about that. It literally just talked about that, saying is like we do it to trigger you guys. Pretty simple. I just I can't do it anymore. This fucking this culture war is just ridiculous. You can go up and down this Reddit thread and see how dumb people are. Who is this? Hold on, I haven't seen this one. ADL quote is from a 2017 blog post. Their current website entry on this gesture ends differently, still says interpret carefully. Ironically, some white supremacists themselves soon also participated in trolling tactics, lending an actual credence to those who labeled the trolling gesture racist in nature. At least some white supremacists seem to have abandoned the ironic or satiric intent. This is why I say that you cannot take these people seriously because they will change the meanings whenever the heck it is that it suits them. It's going to suit them whenever the hell it wants. And the thing is, people on the right do this as much as people on the left do this. People on the left change the meanings of words as much as people on the right change the meanings of words. People on the left will change the meaning of the OK sign to be white supremacy, when the reality is we've used this sign for years and years and years and years to come, and only now do you change it to white supremacy. And people on the right will change the definition of fascism, which they claim is a left-leaning ideology, when it's really more so on a four-way political spectrum centrist. I digress, but the reality is that I can't stand to see it when people are just batshit idiotic. And when I see stuff that are dissing cadets, especially as a person who wants to go into the military, as a person who aspires to go to one of these academies, I can't stand it when you have the Huffington Post, when you have New York Times, when you have people on Reddit, when you have people from the Washington Post. Let's go on ahead and we're going to look this up again. We're going to see how many articles there are right now. Army, Navy, game, white, power, symbol. Let's see. Let's see, everyone. Let's see. News. Oh, look. The New York Times. Okay, we already have that one already. NBC. Military investigates possible white power signs flashed by students during Army Navy telecast. Philadelphia Inquirer, doesn't matter. USA Today. Army Navy game. Academies looking into students' hand symbols during pregame broadcast. Now that's a more neutral. I'll give them that. That's a more neutral standpoint. I like that one. That's a better one. Army Navy officials investigate possible white power gestures by students. time. Possible white power. Hand signs displayed at Army-Navy football game. Prompting investigation. West Point, Annapolis officials investigating possible white power hand sign. Wall Street Journal. France 24, military probes possible white power hand signs at Army-Navy game. Daily Beast, that's not important. Okay, that looks like that's all that we can really look at um, from that regard. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Seriously, why? Oh, that's not even including that. You have Slate, the arguably least trustworthy left-wing source. Oh no. Oh no. Are you? No. Did they seriously Photoshop that in there, or is that an actual photo? There's no way that's right. First of all, that's too good a quality cap, and that almost looks like that's photoshopped. And they basically say the exact same thing, insinuating that they're basically white power. Don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I seriously do not know what to do anymore. This is literally causing divisiveness in America, and it's making this worse. I'm saying the same thing over and over again because I'm so ticked off right now about this. I had a bad week last week, and to wake up in the morning today and find out Tim Pool is reporting on arguably the largest piece of bull crap I've seen over the course of the past 2 weeks that's not impeachment, this is ridiculous. This is disgusting towards our men and women in armed services. This is disgusting towards all of them. If you even think that they were doing this intentionally as their symbolism with white supremacy, get that shit out of your head. Seriously, get that shit out of your head. Because this is unfair. You, along with many, many other people, are deliberately lying about people who are going to be leading people who are defending you. One of these kids might be the next Secretary of Defense. One of these kids might be another Joint Chief of Staff. One of these kids might run Raytheon. One of these kids could probably be the president one day. You don't know. And yet you want to base your assertion of them as racist and that they're white supremacists with next to none proof at all. I said this with Kavanaugh. I'm saying this again with Trump. I'm saying it again. And this is the last time I'm going to say it. If you think that one random incident, a random incident, happens to be racist and that makes someone racist, you are wrong. There is a reason we have due process. There is a reason why we don't execute people without reasonable or with reasonable doubt. There's a reason we don't execute people when we have reasonable doubt. There's a reason that we don't throw people in jail when we have reasonable doubt. And the reason why is because it's possible they didn't do that. It's possible they didn't mean that. We in this country live under the presumption of innocence. We are innocent until we are proven guilty. That is something all of us are given. That is something that all of us will stand by. And that is something that all these kids are going to defend. So I'm going to end that segment there. I'm going to try and see if I can get some stuff to go about with the Kurds because, I haven't covered that. And I think that now that we know that what's going on and it's more clear, it's more important for us to go on ahead and talk about what's going on with the Kurds and al-Baghdadi as soon as possible. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll have that up within the next few hours. Besides that, the Son of Liberty is going to sign off. I'll see you guys later.